Hello everyone. Now we will be demonstrating how to perform a simple interrupted suture. This is the most common type of suture we will see in dentistry after a typical tooth extraction. So again, we will be using the silk suturing material, Silkum 2.0. And once we open that back up, we will have our needle, the thread, which we're going to hold with our needle driver. And we will be receiving that on the other side with the forceps. Okay? And you can notice that I'm not wearing any gloves. But if this had been an actual suturing procedure, I would be wearing gloves. So on the sponge, we don't need to worry about that. So I had previously marked the biting holes of my needle just to show you where I'm going to be entering with the needle and where I'm going to be coming back out. You can see these needle holes are marked quite far apart. This is because the sponge is a little bit fragile, and if I were to mark them any closer than that, the needle and the thread itself will actually tear right through the sponge. It's not as resilient as an actual human tissue. So first, with our needle and our needle driver, we would go through the tissue here, 90 degrees. You want to come back out over here where we can receive the needle tip with our forceps. We can also use the needle driver to help hold down the tissue. Okay, and again, clip the needle driver, expose the tissue. Now this tissue is not far apart enough, but that's okay. We'll pull it apart with our trusty forceps. And we come back through with our needle. Now the purpose of suturing is to make the edges of the wound evert, which will lead to a proper healing process. So here we want to be conservative with our suturing thread. So we try to pull it all the way through. And once we have done that, we want to make 2 loops again with our needle driver and pull the free end through as we would do in a regular instrument tie. And as you can see here, I'm not going to pull the knot too taut in this suturing procedure because, like I said before, the sponge is really fragile, and if I were to pull this too taut, the thread will actually tear through the sponge. Okay, so here's our first knot. More. I'll pull towards the other side. And another one to the opposite side. Okay, and here's our first simple interrupted suture. Okay. Now we'll just take our surgical scissors, clip that off, and clip this off. Okay. And you can see here that the incision that we had just stitched up is being pulled pretty taut by this square knot that we just made. Whereas opposed to further down the wound, we're able to just simply just pry it open with our fingers. But this part, no. It's very difficult to pry it open. Okay?